Eddie, I feel like shit today.
Well, Malcolm, that's because you're not a superior being like I am. Never sick, never hurt, always 100%.
I need to be more like you.
Everybody needs to be more like me in the end, Malcolm. Come on.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy, just mildly epic.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of Mildly Epic. I am Eddie Stash.
I am Malcolm, the Spider fan, Van Skyver.
And Malcolm is playing up his sickness very well right now.
Yeah, I am. Actually, I don't really feel that bad. I just pounded some Dayquil and some multivitamin, drinking some coffee. It's going to hit me here in like 15 minutes, I promise you.
Oh, that's good, Malcolm. So today we have a few things on the schedule. Have a little bit of talk about Doctor Strange, maybe a tiny bit of spoilers. So when we start talking, maybe you want to skip ahead 4 or 5 minutes if you don't want any spoilers. After that, big thing this weekend in BlizzCon. So we'll be going over news and reactions for that. But before we start, Malcolm, what have you been up to?
Well, with the recent announcement of some of the Blizzard stuff we're going to talk about today, I kind of jumped on my PC again. I didn't do too much on it, but I was looking a little bit into trying to try out Heroes of the Storm. I had it once. It seemed a little fun. I haven't done too much with it since, but I think I might try that again. I really didn't play too much of it. I just kind of like messed around in there. I have been I've actually been reading Spider-Gwen, so the comic Spider-Gwen. Very, very nice storyline. I've always enjoyed the artwork that's in there. Just picked up a few more of those recently, and they got another Spider-Man event coming up here soon, so it's kind of like a prelude into that. But watching, wow, there's so many things. Obviously, Doctor Strange came out. We'll get into that here in just a minute, but Walking Dead is still on. That's going to be something that's going to be a weekly thing now. It's continuing to like progress in the storyline that it ended with last season. So it's not digressing from that at all. That's something that I really like that they're doing. I don't want to go too much into detail because it is one of those things where you don't want to talk too much about it because you reveal stuff that people haven't seen yet, and I don't want to lose any of our 3 listeners. So, what about you, man? What have you been doing?
Well, most of the Halloween stuff finished up. Destiny's Festival of the Lost is over. I'm still playing a lot of that. Iron Banner just started actually today. I got everything I wanted from Destiny besides one shader and the Ghost. I really wanted the Ghost. I played a little bit more of Guild Wars Halloween. Pretty fun. Really, that's it. A lot of Destiny and Guild Wars.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, haven't really been reading up on too much. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think they're on hiatus for like another 2 weeks.
Are they really?
Yeah, nothing on ABC is showing today because of the election.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
I think next week is something else.
Yeah,
so no Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which really makes me sad because I feel like there should be a nice Doctor Strange tie-in episode.
There should be.
This episode coming up.
I feel like they're going to mention it at least. I haven't quite... Actually, I forgot to mention. I was watching that too. I've been trying to catch up with it, and it's still just as good as it was from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, they have the Darkhold, so like that should hopefully give a tie-in to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Okay,
so Doctor Strange.
Well, hang on. Real quick before we do that, I'd like to point out that we just moved into Studio V2 here at House Stash, and I like it.
Casa de Stash Studio version 2.
Yeah, love it.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's working really well. We got a nice little station we could set up. We could do some like Twitch streams here soon. I'm looking forward to doing some of that. Maybe playing some games. I don't think I've done that with you.
Hopefully, especially since our website should be up by the next podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're finishing up on it, so it should be up by the next podcast, hopefully.
Nice, yeah. I'm looking forward to that, too.
But, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Spoilers!
Malcolm?
Yes.
Doctor Strange. Oh, my God, I love Doctor Strange. I would put it in my top 3 Marvel movies.
It was so great. Okay, before we jump into it, what do you give it out of 10?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
9 out of 10.
Nice. I would say probably about an 8.5, so we're roughly in the same ballpark. But, yeah, man, it was exactly what I expected it to be. It brought in a new element into their universe, and it was perfect. They did it so well.
Oh, yeah, bringing the magic in. Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of been inching in the magic a little bit, and now they've just finally pushed it all in. Benedict Cumberbatch, great Doctor Strange. It was just so good. I couldn't wait for this movie, and I'm by no means disappointed.
Yeah, I mean the casting itself alone was just perfect. I mean, we already knew that when we saw it happen, when it actually was announced, and it's just like when they announced Brie Larson as
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, I saw that and I was like, okay, yeah, because there was so much speculation that not necessarily her bias. I think she might have been one of the ones that was up for it, but with everyone else, I was like, okay, no, I see that, and I went and I watched some of her acting. I was like, okay, I can see that. Same thing with Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, he portrayed him in the way that like every first time hero in that universe is. They're arrogant. They were
Oh yeah,
hell-bent
probably
on-
my favorite origin story so far.
yeah, that was fantastic.
I enjoyed Mordo. Mordo did good. The Ancient One, Dormammu. I enjoy they didn't put a body toward Dormammu in this
Yeah.
first one. I feel like Dormammu probably shouldn't get a body till like the end of the second or maybe the third movie.
Yeah.
Let him still be that omnipotent being out there, because that can kind of hint towards other things going on.
Yeah.
Now, in the end though, I was worried for the end.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we have 2 Infinity Gems left. When is this second gem gonna show up?
Yeah.
Like, I was like getting to the end. I'm like, okay, what movie is it gonna be? It hasn't been in this movie. And then Wong, I love Wong.
Yeah.
It was like, man, you barely even mastered your basic magics. You can't handle an Infinity Gem. And he's like, it's an Infinity Gem.
It's Infinity.
It's
Like,
like you're not ready for it.
you're not ready
So
for
like,
this.
okay, we have one more gem left.
Yeah.
The Soul Gem, which is rumored to be in Thor Ragnarok,
I can see that.
and is going to be Hela, like part of Hela, or Hela's going to have it,
Really?
because it's called the Thanos theory.
Okay.
Every single gem has spelt out, like the item it's in has been spelt out Thanos. Tesseract,
Yeah.
then the H,
Yeah.
the Aether, the necklace, or the Eye of Agamotto, because it's a necklace,
Right.
the orb from Guardians,
Was the power.
and then the scepter,
right.
Thanos.
I can see that.
People are thinking Heimdall, but Heimdall doesn't have the power the Infinity Gem actually has.
Yeah. That. I mean. I can
Where
see-
Hela can actually do things with souls like the Infinity Gem can.
Right, and then it would fit into that storyline of that universe really well. But yeah, man, it was the film itself was just fantastic. It built up
Great
to
film.
So
So
great.
let's talk real quick about the ending scenes.
Yes,
the
let's talk
post
about
credits.
that.
Let's second post credit scene. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's skip the mid credits because that was the better scene.
That was a better one.
Second post credit scene definitely leads up to Doctor Strange 2.
Yes, that was a perfect lead into the to Doctor
Perfectly
Strange,
lead
yeah.
in. You know, Mordo's turning evil. Great lead in for this.
Yeah, it allows them to expand on his universe because the way that it ended, it was just like, okay, well he can jump in with the Avengers and he can do stuff, but I mean, making a second film that's just as compelling as the first, that'd be kind of difficult. And then they did that, and it was perfect. I mean, he is attempting to get rid of all the sorcerers in the world, and
Yes.
yeah, so it's it's going to end up being good versus old good, who is now evil. So it's going to
Yes.
be good. That's
Now the mid credit scene.
Oh.
This is where it gets complicatingly awesome.
I don't drink tea.
So you have Thor and Steven in the Sanctum Sanctorum, sitting together. Stephen Strange gives Thor a cup of tea. He's like, I don't drink tea. And he just has a pint glass of beer.
Yes.
Downs it in like a second.
mean, this
Ooh,
is-
it's magically refilling.
This is
Thor has a new friend.
32-ounce beer, and it pans away from him for just a second, goes back to him, it's all gone, and of course then it fills itself back up, which is it only makes sense. But it added to the comedy of that interaction.
Yes,
and, now
another
they're friends.
great comedy. But the thing is, they're talking, and Doctor Strange is going, yo, man, why did you bring Loki to New York?
Yes.
What's going on? And he's like, well, my pops is missing, and I need him to help me find him. And Doctor Strange's like, so we find Odin, like, you find Odin, and you're going to take Loki away, because, like, I can't have you here mucking up my, dimension.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go to Asgard or wherever you're from, right? Because, I'm Doctor Strange, and I can't have Loki mucking up my dimension. He's like,
Right.
yes. So he gets up, flings the cloak on, is like, well, then let's get to work.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this has anything to do with Ragnarok, because to my knowledge, Ragnarok is not worried about Odin missing.
Right.
So it could have something to do with Ragnarok. I kind of hope it
Completely different
doesn't,
story. Yeah, completely
because
different
I
story.
want this to be a teaser for like a movie so far in advance that we have to like smack us in the face with it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking either Avengers 3 or maybe Chris Hemsworth might be talking about signing another contract and doing Thor 4.
That would be interesting.
Nobody's ever going to say no if like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans go, look, guys, I want to sign another contract. Let's get this going. They're just gonna do it.
They're
Gonna bring in all the money.
Oh yeah.
So like
they make so much money from it. I mean,
that-
it'd be
that
silly
could
to turn it down.
very easily be Thor 4
Yeah.
or even another movie we have no idea about.
Yeah.
But after that makes us think about Thor Ragnarok. The end scene of Thor Ragnarok now has a whole nother meaning.
Yep.
You see like Loki tell Thor to go to Earth or Odin, and then it turned into Loki. You think, fuck man, Loki killed Odin.
Yeah.
Loki imprisoned Odin. Loki did bad things because he's Loki.
Yeah.
Now you see this, I'm like, oh,
Wait a minute.
maybe Loki was impersonating Odin because Odin was already missing, and Loki knew, well, Asgard needs an Odin, and if he's gone missing, I'm the only one that can portray Odin.
Right.
Because if not, then shit's gonna go down, and
have
we
to
can't
finish.
have this.
Yeah, can't have that happening. So there's so many different several different ways to go into it. Just because yeah. I mean, it makes you think. Like you end Thor: The Dark World thinking that there's a negative impact, and yeah, that could lead into another Thor film, which is going to. But that might not be what Ragnarok is going to be about. It might be a completely different storyline. Who knows? I mean, at this point, we really just have to wait and see.
Oh yeah, like I mean, this is probably the most intricate, and most thought-provoking after credits scene I've ever seen.
Yes.
When it comes to like conspiracy theories now.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta imagine Marvel probably has the next 2 to 3 phases planned.
They probably do. I mean, that's
Like
just how
they're
are.
not ending anytime soon. They probably have up to phase 5 or 6 already planned out.
Yeah, they're like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. We might move some stuff around, but this is our end game, sort of thing. But there were a couple things I wanted to point out right before we get done talking about this. So, the first thing is when he's sitting there talking to Thor, he had his elbow-length yellow gloves on, which is really cool. I like how they did that. So, the classic Doctor Strange costume, I guess you want to put it that way. The second thing was the way he was able to use, I'm assuming, a spell to somewhat control the time gem. Now, that makes me think only because if he's able to do that with that, can he do it with every other gem? Is that a possibility? Is that something that maybe...
It's possible, but it could also just be something going in with the necklace around it. So Agamotto made the necklace and put the time gem in it. So it's probably something to release the necklace on the time gem.
Okay.
And then he's just using the time gem.
Gotcha. It's almost like a conduit using it to
something like that, I would guess.
Something along those lines. Okay, that makes sense. And this is why I want to talk to you about this. So it's something that was just rattling around in my brain. I was curious. I was like, how is he? If he's able to do that, can he do that with the other ones? Yeah. Now, if they're able to be harnessed in such containment, I guess, which they have been, most of them.
The scepter.
Yep. So I mean, they're able to be.
Yep.
So it just makes me think like, would he be able to do that sort of thing? And I'm thinking that the gauntlet is going to be one of those types of artifact-y type of things. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be something to amplify and use the power.
Exactly.
I mean, you also got to imagine at the end of the movie, he was not Sorcerer Supreme still. He was just another sorcerer. So we still got a long way to go with Doctor Strange. So, Malcolm, BlizzCon.
Holy cow.
BlizzCon was...
Oh my god.
I'm going to say adequate.
Ham like the first day.
I'm going to say adequate, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of it, I feel like maybe as a whole, it was kind of eh. But that first day, they were just like, here's some awesome stuff that we know that everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah, but I expected so much more.
Really? Like, what kind of stuff were you really looking for that you didn't see there?
Let's go game by game, okay?
Okay, all right, that works.
So, and we'll start out with the games I'm going to assume neither of us are the most excited about.
Okay.
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
We got a new expansion for Hearthstone.
That's good.
Okay, cool. Mean Streets of Gadgetzan.
Yeah.
So this expansion is going to be more mobster type. We're going to have the goblins, Gadgetzan, the goblin main city and everything.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be some triple class cards or some dual class cards if I read correctly, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But besides that, not too much that I picked up from Hearthstone.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something that I've ever even, I've downloaded it, I played it maybe once or twice. I'm just not into it, man. I don't know what it, like, it's cool. That's awesome. I feel like that would be cool for those who play it, but I'm just not a fan of it,
Yeah. So, what I expected. I expected new expansion. Okay. Yeah. Hearthstone did not disappoint, but it did not amaze. It delivered.
Right.
Okay, we'll go from that. Here's the Storm. We have Varian Wyern. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, and I'm sorry. He's the first dual-class hero, so a tank and an assassin.
Okay.
He has banners he can throw down, which make people like faster and whatnot, or stronger, or stuff like that.
Right.
Really cool. Definitely really cool. He has some really good moves, I think. I think Varian will be very well. But the big thing was Ragnaros, the Fire Lord.
Right.
So we have our first raid boss as a Heroes of the Storm character. He looked really cool in game. It looks awesome. He can actually fuse with a tower or keep or whatnot and become a giant raid boss essentially. He can't move, but like he can defend that area, and he has way better attacks than a standard tower would, of course.
Right. So he's almost like he is in World of Warcraft, where he's stationary pretty much. He doesn't really move around too much. He's just kind of there.
His best parts are when he's stationary. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that makes sense, and I can see that, and that's actually kind of cool. Like I said, I've trying to jump ease back into that, just to try it out a little bit more. I didn't really give it too much of a chance before, so I feel like if I get back into it, maybe we could play together sometime. We could try it out, see how it is. So.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to, because for Heroes of the Storm, if you play a certain amount of matches with a friend, you get a new Genji skin
For Overwatch.
Genji.
Yeah.
Genji skin in
The Oni
Overwatch.
skin, yeah.
Oni Genji, which looks really cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be something, and it's only available until I think January sometime or the end of December. So it's something that you have to do within a certain time frame, or you're not gonna be able to get it again. It's like I feel like each year they're gonna come out with new Halloween stuff. So this 2016 year Halloween stuff is not going to be available next year. So
there was a question and answer portion in Overwatch, and they are looking on how to make it better and possibly bring stuff back.
Okay.
So I doubt there will be much that you can never get.
Yeah. Maybe it just increase the value of it. It makes it harder to get, but like it makes you want to work towards something.
Exactly.
So, anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to Overwatch.
Besides that, with the whole playing with friends thing, there's like a new site, a new mount you can get and stuff like that
Nice.
with it.
Nice.
They're bringing back a map, or they're bringing a new map. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the map that used to have the pirate ship in it. There now is a Revenge of map of that kind.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's really cool. So I figured Overwatch, 2 heroes, a map, maybe a new game mode, but there wasn't any. So okay. They just released a new game mode a little while ago in their brawls.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Overwatch, again, exactly what I expected. Nothing really amazing, except for I did not see like Ragnaros becoming the hero.
Yeah. You're talking about Heroes of the Storm?
Yes, Hero of the Storm.
Okay.
Overwatch is going to be last.
Yeah, Overwatch will be last.
So World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 7.2.
Yeah.
Tomb of Sigerius.
Yes.
Figured that was going to be announced. Cool things. Class-specific mounts.
I checked that out. I was very impressed with everyone except for the mage.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I use a mage, or I play a mage, or when I played the game, I played a mage, but the monk was the fucking coolest out of all of them. I loved it. The fact that it's a tiger. Now, they all fly, right? Is that correct?
I do believe so.
Okay.
But I'm not positive, but I do believe so.
I mean, it looked like most of the ones they were either birds. It was raven for a rogue, and some of them it looked like, especially on the tiger, it looked like he like illuminated paws, so something like he would just be able to levitate, just run on basically thin air. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, they had a lot of the mount specific mounts or the mount specific mounts. The mount specific or the class specific mounts were fantastic. I loved what I saw there. That was pretty cool. What else did they announce again for?
They have mini holidays coming out. So things like Guard Appreciation Day, Boat Day, Hippogriff Hatching Day, or something like that. One thing is Ankahir Remembrance Day. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that's the desert with the big scarab beetle, whatnot, that a lot of people farmed for the mounts back in the day, like in Vanilla and Burning Crusade. So I'm really interested about the mini holidays. That's really cool. Holidays are always like my favorite thing in games.
Yeah, it gives you an extra little aspect of the game at different points in the year. I mean, I was the same way. I love the Halloween stuff. I love Brewfest. That was probably my favorite holiday event that they had. That took place during like Oktoberfest, and Christmas was kind of lackluster. I felt like. I mean, they had a lot of
Winter's Day.
Winter's Day. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean they have cool stuff. It's a neat little addition to the game. Keeps it fresh. So.
Oh yeah. Besides that, there were some Q&As before we get to the really big thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And one of them asked, with Vol'jin dead, do the trolls, the Darkspear in general, have like anybody really of importance? And the guys up there were essentially like, Vol'jin's story's not really over. There's gonna be some stuff. So the trolls will have somebody. So I'm wondering, is Vol'jin dead?
Yeah.
Did he come back? What does that mean?
Right. I mean, did the war chief of the Horde at the current time actually die, or I mean, in the game, it seems like there's resurrections left and right. So I feel like it's a possibility that he could be back pretty much at any time, and he just kind of like bust down the door like, "I'm back, motherfucker." But I mean, at the same time, maybe his legacy is moving on. Maybe that's what they were talking about. Maybe
Exactly.
he has like an heir for his tribe. I guess is what what trolls would go by as tribes. Yeah. So
Oh, exactly. And I'm also wondering, like, who's leading the orcs right now anyway?
I don't think there's anyone in particular because they had Hellscream, and the last time I
did.
checked, it was Hellscream's dead, and Thrall is just kind of like he's like a nomad right now. So there's not
Yeah,
really anyone
he was
who's
there on the
leading.
attack of the Broken Isles,
Yeah,
but like I don't think he's leading the orcs or anything. I don't really know, but like seems the Horde is losing its leaders left and right.
I mean the last time I really saw a big importance with Thrall was when he was kind of trying to unite both Horde and Alliance to fight against Deathwing. That was the last really big, hurrah with him, aside from Draenor when he was just kind of like traveling there. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like he's big in the Shaman class hall.
yeah,
Because I know in the class hall you're trying to get the elemental lords on your side, and I think he helps you maybe make a new fire elemental lord. I haven't played through the class line, but I'm not positive.
yeah.
Besides that, we have been told what patch 7.3 is.
What was that one?
Patch 7.3, we're leaving Azeroth,
Really?
and we're going to Argus, the homeworld of the Draenei, and the current base of operations of the Legion.
I did not
So,
see this at all. Holy shit!
Honestly, I saw this happening next expansion.
wow.
So what are we going to do next expansion?
What can
We're
what-
attacking
yeah.
the Legion at their home on 7.3.
Yeah.
So to my knowledge and my personal opinion, we have several choices now. A, I have no idea what the next expansion is going to be. B, the next expansion is going to be the defeat of the Legion, which kind of leads me to believe that this expansion is going to dry up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, it's either going to dry up or drag out.
And either way, it would suck because I mean, when you have a
Like, drag out the fight to the Legion so much that it won't even be funny.
you're gonna lose players left and right. They're not gonna be interested. They're not gonna stay interested.
But
It's
maybe the next expansion has something big.
Yeah.
Like, not even Legion related. Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
this expansion will cultivate with the end of the Legion, and the next expansion will go on to something else.
I mean, we'll see. I guess.
We'll see. But, like, in all honesty, if they want to keep the players and keep the base, that's how it has to be.
Yeah.
Because it's either going to be that or they're going to drag out the war so we can kill him in the next one, and then they might drag it out in the next one or kill him right away.
Yeah.
No.
I don't.
Killing the Legion, killing Sargeras is like an end boss. Like, you know what? The next expansion comes out in like 2 months. You can now kill the boss.
Yeah.
So I'm really wondering about that.
I mean, they still have so much that like they can make. They've made this world. They can make it ever expanding. But with what they have right now, I feel
absolutely.
like
And we still have like the Horde Alliance War.
Yeah.
They're by no means friends right now.
No, just go right back. I mean, you could flip back to that. That could be the next big thing. I mean, bring it back home. Bring it back to Azeroth. Make it a Civil War, Captain America Civil War. In some ways, I guess. Bring it back so that way it's you went from this huge battle in New York. You went from this huge battle around the world fighting this man made of metal, and now you're just bringing it down to these two factions that are just facing off because they have differences, and it comes back down to a more personal level and back to what I feel like World of Warcraft roots actually are. I mean, that's what originally brought me in, is I knew that there was confliction between the Horde and the Alliance before I even know the names of the Horde and the Alliance. The red team doesn't like the blue team. Get into it and I see it. I mean, it makes sense.
You gotta imagine something. I really hope putting 2 and 2 together with what I'm about to say means something. But and I'm saying this with air quotes, co-founder of Blizzard recently came out of retirement and went back to Blizzard.
Right.
Now, I say co-founder because the other co-founders are like, no. He is the founder. Like, on paper, it might say co-founder, but we're going to be honest with you. No him.
Yeah.
No Blizzard. Ever.
Yeah.
So, maybe, I can't remember his name, so whatnot.
Yeah.
But maybe that means something cool's going to come out soon.
That would be kind of cool.
Okay, so
kinda cool.
besides that, we had some things on pet battles. Gonna be a lot of new pet battle stuff, pet dungeons apparently, stuff like that. Okay,
Jesus
cool.
Christ.
All right, so
Ugh.
over to Overwatch. I know I might have
yes.
mentioned earlier we might do that last, but I feel like Diablo has the biggest news
It has some of the
that
biggest
nobody
news, yeah.
actually saw coming as much until the very end.
Yeah.
So Overwatch, we finally met Sombra.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, WoW, exactly what I expected, except for 7.3.
Kind of caught you by surprise.
7.3 caught me by surprise, but I wanted something. I didn't expect anything bigger. WoW was perfect.
Okay.
WoW was perfect. Like
It had some pretty solid.
Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, exactly what I expected, but I hoped for more.
Yeah. Okay.
Overwatch, kind of lackluster in my opinion.
Really?
We got Sombra. We knew we were gonna get Sombra.
It was a matter
if we
of time.
didn't get Sombra, riots would have happened in the streets.
They were dropping hints for months.
You had two choices: Sombra or death.
Yeah. It's one of the two.
But Sombra looks amazing.
Oh, she does.
I'll give her that. So the cinematic for Sombra looks amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and it finally seems like we're gonna start getting a more coherent storyline.
Yes.
Like we can get bits and pieces of past and present story through the comics and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel we're finally gonna get a B C D story.
Yeah.
Because you see her, Reaper, and Widowmaker, Talon,
Yeah.
are going in and they're trying to assassinate the head of Volskaya Industries in Russia.
Right.
Who, even though the Omnic War is over, hates Omnics and still wants to fight them.
Of course.
So you see, and she kind of betrays Reaper and Widowmaker unbeknownst to them.
Of course.
And makes a deal with the person of Volskaya. Like, yo, I see you're getting this new tech from Omnics, who are the enemy. You don't want this all over the internet. You're going to become my friend and help me out.
Yeah.
So, okay, she does. So it looks like that's going to come into things. And then at the very end, you see Zarya walk into the office. And she's like, you know what you got to do? And Zarya's like, I think I do.
Yeah.
And I love Zarya.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Favorite part of that, though, is right before Sombra leaves the president, she boops her on the nose and go, boop.
Yep. Just boops around it. That was the
I've
best
probably rewatched that specific part like 10
Yes.
times. Boop.
GIF, just like over and over and over
Mm-hmm.
again, just watching it. Like, and it didn't have audio to it, so I was just like in my head, boop, boop.
Yep.
And just go watch it. It was fantastic.
So, Sombra, machine gun.
Yeah. Okay.
She's
So
an
let's talk
offensive
about
hero, by the
abilities,
way.
yeah. Sure.
Machine gun. She can hack into health packs to make them respawn faster,
Yes.
as well as enemies to make them not be able to use their abilities. Okay,
That's
kind of
gonna-
cool there.
That's gonna be devastating to some.
Definitely, that'll I don't know what abilities it'll stop.
Yeah, I don't know. There was
So
a-
like,
there was a
will it
couple
stop
things,
your shift and E abilities or whatnot,
Right.
or will it also stop like your right click, left clicks?
I
Like,
like that,
let's
cool.
take for Reinhardt for an example. Will it stop his shield,
No.
or will it just stop his charge
Yeah.
/ like little eruption thing?
You know, I think what it is, I think it's just his standard abilities, not his alt. I think it would be just the regular ability. So like so I play Zenyatta a lot, so like his Orb of Discord, his Orb of Harmony, just his standard ones that you can use regularly, very quickly, back
But it
and
won't
forth.
stop like his right clicker.
But it won't, yeah.
Because
Like,
right
you
click
could
is
still
Reinhardt's
attack.
shield.
Yeah.
Which, like, if that could stop that, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
that'd be tough.
Besides that, we have a teleporter you can throw out.
Cannot be
that'll
destroyed.
recall you back to the same place. So a good strategy there is you boost up that health pack, go in, fight, recall right back to the health pack.
Run right back in and just do it again.
Yep.
Yep.
What else?
She has stealth. She can
Yep.
stealth.
She can stealth, which also increases her speed.
Yep. Moves real quick.
Yep.
That's gonna
And
be a
what's
pain
her
in the
ultimate again?
Her ultimate is an EMP.
Oh, yes, an EMP.
Holy hell, that's going to be devastating for a lot of people. I know that it completely nullifies Lucio's ultimate. So if he's sitting there and he's breaking it down, doesn't matter. It just clears it out completely. That's going to be very difficult because he is. First off, the ultimates themselves, I feel like, and I don't know how it is for PC, but for Xbox, you're able to gain them at an unreal speed. And which I know in some of the new patches they're going to come out with soon, they're looking to nerf that to hopefully make it more skill based as opposed to die. I've got you in my sights, and everyone dies. I mean, it just seems unreal right now, like to the point where I feel like it's making people not play it as much, just because it's just so unfair. But that being said, I think that she's going to be the nice little cushion that's going to get us to that point, because it's already going to be difficult to get alts after they nerf them if they do, and she's going to be able to just cut people off. I'm pretty positive she can cut off Zenyatta's. I know she can cut off Reinhardt's shield. I don't know if when I was watching when she did her hack. It was in one of like the gameplay things you get to see what actually abilities would look like in the game, and Roadhog was doing his whole hog, so he was just shooting like shotgun scraps everywhere. Came up to him and just hacked him, and he stopped. So I don't know if that's something that can just be done on anybody or any ability.
We'll definitely be able to see.
Yeah.
I also want her to have a voice line that just says boop.
Yeah, just boop.
Yeah, that's all I want.
I would buy
I
that.
might just do the whole match just going boop and not even do play. Just boop.
That'd be
Come
like
up to somebody. Boop.
Yeah, I saw her. I saw all of her. What was it? The interactions, I guess, the emotes, and none of them go like that. But I wish they did. I wish they they booped. And I know I just said went like that, and no one
everybody.
listening can.
Let's hit Twitter #Sombra boop.
Yeah, Sombra boop. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make that a thing if it's not already a thing. But yeah,
Besides that, we got a new map, Oasis, which is a control point map. I didn't get to see it, but new map, cool. Okay.
I'm okay with that.
And now they're Junkenstein's Revenge was the start of like testing for PvE.
Right.
They're now moving all their brawls to one section, and there'll be different brawls, like 1v1 random hero, 3v3, 3v3 random hero, like completely whatever you want, as well as all the other brawls we've been having are going into a special category where you can just pick those, and it's not just one random one, but like 3 random ones, and then it'll keep on rotating.
Yeah.
That's really
fresh.
cool. That's a nice start to PvE.
Yeah.
So with this, I saw Sombra coming.
Yeah. Okay.
New map, okay.
think everybody
So
did.
I figured we'd get one of those announced.
Probably. Yeah.
I figured we get something related to PvE
Mm-hmm.
type deal, which this isn't really, but it's the brawl things, new game modes. What I figured.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought they would do is not announce another character besides Sombra, but tease the next one.
But nothing.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
I was really thinking, you know what? Maybe we'd see a Doomfist somewhere,
That would
like
be
as a little
kinda neat.
teaser.
Yeah.
Like that would be a great little teaser for the next character, because I assumed it would be Doomfist,
Right.
but no,
Nothing.
Really weird.
We've gotten 2 females so far, so I can only assume that the next person we're gonna get is gonna be some type of something. What would you think that the next person, like speculation aside from Doomfist, because
I figured it'll be Doomfist, but if not, maybe a new support.
Yeah, I could see that because we've gotten one support.
Actually, we got one support already.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think, the smallest class or the
Maybe
smallest
defense?
type. Either support or defense.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna get a new tank right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have plenty of attack right now. Sombra is assault.
Offense, yep.
Yeah, offense. But yeah, I think that maybe support. And I think support would be another that or defense. That would be kind of cool if we got into like a new defense here, because all the ones we have so far are pretty solid. We have a pretty solid lineup with all the characters right now, and I think they do it really well. But I think that their biggest challenge is going in and making a character and figuring out a character that would fit not only in that universe but in the actual game. So logistics
Absolutely.
in the game that would work well with all the other characters, and it's difficult, but Blizzard can do it. They do that kind of stuff all
Absolutely.
the time, so I completely trust them.
So we go from Overwatch over to Diablo, the black sheep lately of the family for
Yes.
Blizzard games. Diablo probably had some of the most interesting things. So to start off with, we have Diablo 1 is essentially going into Diablo 3 as a event. It's not there permanently, it's an event. 16-floor dungeon with OG graphics and everything, which is really great. The Darkening of Tristram or something like that, I believe it's called.
Oh, snap.
So that's really great. I can't wait for that. OG graphics, UI, everything like that for that dungeon. So that's kind of cool. We're going to be able to have like a dual-wield Ritz leg, old and new. We're going to have the Butcher, new pets, new styles, a lot of things from there. And that's going to be a free update next year.
Nice.
Cool. We're also getting 2 new areas. Or 3 new areas. We're getting the Shrouded Moors, which I believe is like kind of swampland. The Temple of the Firstborn,
Okay.
which is a temple, essentially where the first humans became.
Interesting. Okay.
And then the Realms of Fate, which is essentially where they're going to mishmash a whole bunch of different areas together. So you
Ooh.
could be walking in an underground cave one second, in the jungle the next.
Oh, snap. Okay.
In a fort one moment, in heaven the next.
Kind of like a
type deal.
dreamscape type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's cool.
For consoles, they're bringing seasons. So for the noobs, on consoles, Malcolm,
Console plebs.
there will be seasons now. Seasons were a big thing in PC, still are. They're pretty much the only updates we get.
Yeah.
They will be now going to consoles, which is cool.
Nice.
Besides that, though, next year we will also be seeing the Necromancer come to Diablo 3.
Ah,
And they have stated several other classes, some old, some new, might be coming to Diablo 3.
Okay.
Necromancer, we kind of found out about a little bit before. So that's cool. Now, the Necromancer will not be free. They have not
so you
stated
have
a
to pay
price
for
point,
them.
but it will not be free.
Okay.
That'll be something you have to pay money for.
Gotcha.
Now, a lot of people were wondering what's the difference between a Necromancer and a Witch Doctor. So the Witch Doctor has 1 to 6 or 7 passive pets,
Yeah.
while all the Necromancer's pets are all active. So you can control them a lot more and everything, and you can also have a lot more. There's one skill that'll rise up, I think, 100 skeletons army.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a lot more there. He's also a lot darker and everything, a lot more dead.
Yeah.
Where the Witch Doctor's kind of like, bad juju Witch Doctor.
Yeah. So kind of like a Scourge, I guess, almost like in World of Warcraft.
Kinda, I guess, yeah.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that about them. Now, fill me in here. I've played Diablo a couple times. In Diablo 3 right now, what are all the classes? I know that there's Warrior, there's Monk, there's now going to be Necromancer, and Witch Doctor. What else am I missing?
So there's the Wizard,
Wizard.
the
Okay.
Witch Doctor, the Crusader,
Okay.
the Barbarian, the Demon Hunter,
Okay. Is there a Monk?
the Monk,
Okay.
and I think the Necromancer is the 7th one.
7th one. Okay, cool. And I assume, like, just by the names of them, they just kind of are
They do
similar.
exactly what you think.
What do you think? Okay,
Yep.
cool. What else did they have? Because I know they had something else. What was that? Well, the other thing that they had announced that was really big, Diablo, or for Diablo Blizzard, was it the Diablo 1 in Diablo 3? How are they gonna do that?
Malcolm, we just started talking about this like 5 minutes ago,
Oh,
dude.
jeez.
It's a 16-floor dungeon in the Tristram Chapel.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I didn't
That's
know
why I
that.
kept
That's
saying
where we
Old Tristram.
Took that one.
God, I can't pronounce that word.
Gotcha.
Yes, so
Anyway,
that's what it's going to be. From there, I definitely think that's really cool. I honestly thought we would be getting some, okay, so, cool. I'll talk about what I thought from Diablo in a moment. So, right now, BlizzCon's over. Let's talk about what we think the future of Blizzard games are. So, I honestly thought we'd be hearing something about remakes or remasters of, StarCraft, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3,
Yeah.
Diablo 1 or 2 and everything. That's what I really thought we'd be getting. This is cool in Diablo 3, but I really thought we'd be getting some remakes.
yeah, that's what I was really hoping for, and I think that that's something that they can do, and they might be saving it for their Hail Mary moment, I guess, to the point where they're like, okay, we just need to do this. Like we have them in the arsenal right now. Let's just let them loose, see what people think, and not all at once, just kind of like separate packs. Because I mean, me personally, I would like to play the original Warcrafts again. Just do like a combo pack with them or something. That would be pretty cool, and it would also get you. There's people who play World of Warcraft that don't entirely understand the lore, to a T. It might help you get to that point. I mean, you get some of the original storylines. Same thing with StarCraft. I know StarCraft. They didn't announce anything for StarCraft, did they?
Oh yeah, StarCraft. There's some new co-op missions, a new announcer or something. StarCraft was super lackluster. It's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because they had what they'll do, and I've noticed this in the past, is when they have these BlizzCons, is they'll announce something really big, and then the following year it's just kind of like unless you really really play the game, and even still it kind of just isn't as good as you wanted it to be. But I mean that's how most conventions are too. I feel like there's some things where they just go ham on everybody. They're just like, this is gonna happen, and people are just, they lose their shit. And if it's big enough, they can roll it into the next year. But sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for that year, and then the next year it's just like, yeah, we announced that last year. We're gonna give this game a break for this year. But I mean that's kind of what I feel like they did with StarCraft there. I've never played StarCraft, so I can't say that I even really care,
Exactly.
to be honest with you. I'm not a fan.
Besides that, honestly, I feel next year, and I hope to God it is, we'll see Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm will probably be pretty much the same.
Yeah.
New characters, new expansion, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Diablo, I really hope we get Diablo 4, or, as people like to say, World of Diablo.
Yeah.
So an actual MMO Diablo would be really cool.
That'd be pretty boss. I could see that.
They have the lore, they have the power, they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
WoW will probably hear the next expansion.
Yeah. Get some kind of tease towards it.
And then Overwatch again, maybe some more heroes, maybe PvE mode if it hasn't came out by then.
Yeah.
I want BlizzCon. I want Blizzard to work on. I know Overwatch is a new property.
Yeah.
But I want to hear some rumors about some kind of new property. Like I want to hear some super cool stuff, like what Blizzard might be doing.
Yeah.
They have the people, they have the power, they have the money. Put a small team on a new property, and start building it up while you're getting Overwatch off the ground and everything.
Exactly. I mean, it's lifting. I mean, with Overwatch League that they announced, I mean, that's something that right there, aside from the fact that I really want to play Overwatch with you personally, it makes me want to get the game on PC because I almost exclusively play competitive now. I don't go into quick play unless it's just like, I need to get warmed up for a match. And, you can go into it, and they're going to make like esports teams out of this shit. I mean, it's going to be amazing. I look for it. I mean, I would actually probably watch that as like a regular sporting event almost. I mean, it seems like it's one of that big step that, the game that's big enough that they can make that big step with. And I like to see the future of that. And I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. Blizzard is probably one of the pioneers on esports right now. They're pushing esports on pretty much all of their stuff right now, which is great.
Yeah.
Blizzard's also doing other things I think everybody should do. They have their built-in talking now, built-in chat channels for Blizzard.
Yep.
I feel that should be a thing, period.
They can stream now too, can't they?
Through Facebook, yep.
Nice.
They're doing some other things. I think Blizzard as a whole is working really well on stuff like that.
Releasing a lot of cool new stuff. I mean, they're always going to be innovating things like that. They have the power to do it. They just kind of want to be like, we can, but you guys are having a good enough time with what we have right now. So,
okay. So Malcolm, before we end this, let's call this Tuesday, November 8th.
Yes.
At roughly 8:30, Malcolm and Eddie's BlizzCon 2017 predictions. Hearthstone.
Okay.
New expansion.
New expansion. Yep.
Okay. Here's the Storm. 2 new characters.
Yes.
1 new map. 1 new game mode.
So now, when we're doing this, we're talking about what's going to be coming out in the next year.
No, what they're going to announce at
next year.
BlizzCon.
Gotcha. Okay, so next year.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it'll come out sometime after or during BlizzCon.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. Okay, I can see that. Yep.
Okay.
I agree with that one too.
World of Warcraft.
New expansion.
The last 2 patches, big patches,
Yeah.
and new expansion.
Yeah. That they're going to release like the following year, maybe year and a half after
Yes.
that. Yeah.
New expansion will have a new race.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
What do you think?
Yes. I could totally see that. As far as the races go, they have some in there right now that I feel like they could do.
Completely new race.
Completely new.
That is introduced either in that patch, or in that expansion, or on Argus.
Oh man.
So a race, as of right now, we have never physically seen.
An elephant humanoid type creature. I think that would be what it is.
That'd be pretty badass.
That would, right?
That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah.
If I would make a video game, I'm having that.
Hey, check this out. This is going to be a side note, but this is going to cut this in half a little bit. But Blizzard almost every single year has a character creation contest as well as an environment creation contest. I tried to participate. My participation in that, of course, did not win, but that was my creation. Was an elephant humanoid
I'm gonna steal that.
creature. I have all. I'm gonna post this on our Twitter and our Facebook. Just be like, this is what they need to do.
Malcolm, you say you're gonna post a lot of things on our Twitter and Facebook.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Do better, suck less. Okay.
Yes.
Overwatch.
Yeah. Okay.
2 new characters.
Yeah.
1 new map.
Okay.
I hope PvE mode. I don't think PvE mode will be out until then.
Yeah. Well, all right. If they release that sometime in the next year, if they release it, then this is a big if. If they release that raids, sort of like how Destiny does,
Ooh, raids.
that would be kind of cool, right?
Okay.
I feel like they could do that. I feel like they could pull that off. They have the means to do that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Just in case, if they do that. If not, then like a full PvE mode, like
Maybe something like
story.
Borderlands-y.
Yes. Yeah. There
Okay.
you go. There you go.
Okay.
There you
And then Diablo.
go. Okay.
Diablo 4. I don't think we're gonna see World of Diablo.
No.
But D4.
D4. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anything
something
different?
teasing towards that a little bit, not like a full-on, hey, we've been working on this in secret. Here's, it's going to come out in the next half a year. I think it's something that they're going to be like, hey, we're going to be working on this. Here's a little teaser for you.
I think video trailer introducing the remakes of all the originals maybe not all the originals. We might not get WoW like Warcraft 1, but Warcraft 3 at the least.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Okay. Remake of the originals. Then at the very end, coming soon, Diablo's face 4.
And it just like turns into just number 4.
Yeah,
Or
something like that.
Maybe like a 4 Roman numerals or something like that. I don't know. That's something along those lines.
Absolutely.
I think that they could do that. They could definitely do that. And they know that people want it, but I mean, how long did it take for StarCraft 2 to come out from StarCraft 1?
A very long time.
Yes. So, I mean, I think that as long as the game is popular and is still growing, I think they might not do anything with it. But you never know. They might just pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, but besides like this announcement, Diablo 3 hasn't really been growing.
No.
That's pretty much it. End of our show.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking, Malcolm.
Absolutely, man.
Definitely, you sound a lot better than your fake sickness.
Yeah, I feel a little bit better after penning all those meds. Yeah, man. Getting excited. Yeah.
Besides that, send us your predictions for next year's BlizzCon. Tell us what you think about Doctor Strange. Give us some ideas on a new show. Topic ideas, anything like that. Catch us over at facebook.com/mildlyepic, at mildly_epic at twitter.com. Email us at mildlyepic@gmail.com. Just shoot us out. Like and comment our show on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, anything like that. We definitely appreciate everybody listening to us, and make sure everybody, all your friends know. With that, I'm Eddie Stash.
I'm Malcolm Hanscover.
And everybody, stay epic. Yeah, you didn't steal my snap, though.
I didn't.
Shut up.
Next time.